Hey everybody, we're gonna get started on my zucchini fries. So we're gonna get 2 zucchini. And if they're on the smaller side, it's actually good because I wanted to do zucchini boats, but I thought these would be too small. So you're gonna cut it crosswise, which means in half, a little bit thinner than a veg, like this. And then you're gonna cut them into 1/2-inch strips. So then you're just gonna cut them in half again. And while it's laying flat, cut it into small fries. So think of a French fry. So I cut up my zucchini. They're kind of like fry shape, like a thicker fry. And you're gonna throw them into a colander or some kind of strainer. And then put a bowl underneath it. And then we're gonna toss it in 1/2 of kosher salt. So like a thicker salt. So kind of like the eggplant, we are tossing it in salt to remove the extra water. Because remember, zucchini is 95% water. So you want to remove it so you want a nice crispy fry. So in my colander, I have my zucchini. So now I'm going to toss 1.5 teaspoons of kosher salt all around it. And then I'm going to use my hands to make sure it's evenly coated. So we're going to let this sit for 1/2 an hour. Just like with the eggplant, we are draining the excess moisture. And in the meantime, we're gonna work on our breading station to get that ready for the zucchini, and we're also gonna make our yogurt herb dip. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, getting fresh herbs seems to be really crazy lately. So if you don't have fresh herbs, you can absolutely do this with dried if you have no choice. So for our dressing, we need 1 clove of minced garlic. So I'm just going to go straight down and then go across. Okay, perfect. And then we need a tablespoon of fresh parsley, if you can get it. If you can't, and you need to use whatever you have dried spice-wise at home, that's totally okay. This is no problem at all. Obviously fresh. So once you have all this minced up, we're gonna mix it together in our bowl. Okay, to my bowl, I'm gonna be adding my 1 cup of plain Greek yogurt. Again, if you're keto, use the Too Good brand. I've talked about this before with my butter chicken. This is what it looks like. This is literally like the only one you can have. Okay. In addition, we're gonna add in our parsley and garlic that we just minced freshly. And then we're gonna add the rest of our seasonings. So I have my fresh parsley. I don't have fresh chives, so I'm gonna do a tablespoon of the dried chives I have. And do keep in mind that dried spices are a little bit stronger. That's okay. We're gonna add a teaspoon of lemon acidity. The yogurt does have acidity already, but it's nice to have that little tang. And then we're gonna add a 1/4 teaspoon of pepper. And 1/2 teaspoon of whisk it together. And there you have your dip. So now that the yogurt dip is ready, we need to get our panko breading. So if you're keto, then you need to grind up some pork rinds like I did. And again, just by putting it in the blender, it has the texture of panko, which is awesome. And I got my pork rinds for a super cheap investment. So we're gonna grind up a cup of these, and then we're gonna mix it with Parmesan and our other seasonings. Fun fact, if you have a strong enough blender, you can actually grate Parmesan. So just a minute ago, my cheese was looking like this. And in seconds, it's like that. Cayenne pepper, and we're good. Okay, so I am going to put this mixture into my bigger Vitamix, and that's simply so there's like more room for it to move. And the recipe calls for you to use a food processor, but honestly, if you have a blender, it'll work all the same. For a whirl, and then our breading is ready. We're getting ready to mix. Now you don't want to overmix with pork rinds because the fat will release. You just want to make sure everything's coming together. It's been 1/2 an hour and our zucchini has sweated out. So if you take a look, there's a lot of moisture that came out. So we're gonna rinse it really well. And then we need to dry it really well, because if you don't dry it, then nothing's going to stick. So it's not too salty. Dry it so everything sticks. My flour station ready, and the recipe calls for 2 egg whites, not 2 eggs beaten. And I believe that's for color purposes. But I just want to show you how to separate egg white in case you didn't know. So you crack your egg like you normally would. And then what I do in my fingers very gently, and I let everything drip through. So then the yolk I can just simply put in a different bowl. And that's how you separate egg yolks from egg whites. So here are my egg whites. You can't even see them. And my egg yolks. perfectly intact, not broken. This would be great to keep to make like a hollandaise sauce or homemade mayonnaise. Don't throw these away. These are awesome. Look how beautiful they are. I have my dredging station. I have my flour, which is my protein powder, egg whites, and my panko mixture. So all you need to do is get your zucchini, toss it in your flour, shake off the excess into the egg white, shake off the excess, roll it around the panko mixture, make sure it's coated on all sides. I kind of like to roll it back and forth. Here's my beautiful zucchini. I did not do it all, there's still some left, but we need to have dinner and it's just the two of us, so. Anyway, I'm throwing this into my air fryer at 425 for 14 minutes. Check out the final result. Hello. Let's plate her up. Can I get a hello? Yeah, baby. I am obsessed. Perfect crunch.